Before we dive into the November predictions, I want to show you guys something. This is my astrology forecast and roadmap of where we are in the world right now. We've gone through some months of political chaos and there are new wars in the world right now. Now, what does November hold? A real estate boom and major global shifts that will reshape the financial landscape. In this video, we're going to have a look at that. Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry, where we help you navigate your life by predicting world events, life cycles, and finances. My name is Sulab Jain, and in this video, we're going to be having a look at the energy around the world over the month of November. But let's just take a step back and look at some of the silliness and chaos that took place over October. You see, in October, Pakistan and Afghanistan went to war with each other. And energetically speaking, this is a little bit of a silly conflict, to be fair. Now, in and of itself, this conflict isn't actually important because Pakistan's economy isn't really that significant for the world, and neither is Afghanistan's. The interesting thing about this conflict is that Pakistan always leads America energetically. So if you make any prediction for what happens in Pakistan, you can see similar events play out in the US. For example, we were able to predict Donald Trump's assassination attempt by the mere fact that Pakistan's Imran Khan had an assassination attempt on him. And so just as Pakistan has gone into war now, the Americans seem to be on the brink of war with Venezuela. Donald Trump has openly asked for the CIA to topple or dethrone Maduro, which I think technically is an act of war, but for some reason the media isn't reporting it that way. In either case, there are warships down there. It seems very, very likely that there's going to be some sort of armed conflict taking place there, if it's not already happening behind the scenes. Now, the planets I'm looking at for kicking off this conflict is a conjunction of Mercury and Mars. And Mercury, in a couple days from now, on the 9th of November, is going to go retrograde and fly back over the top of Mars. I think that could be a trigger point for this conflict in November. And then when Mercury goes direct and then goes back over Mars again, it could escalate it even more. In fact, there could be as much as 2 new armed conflicts in the world over the next month. So we should pay attention to this. Now, I also want to talk about gold just in this context as well. Over the past couple months, the price of gold has been going bananas. It's cooled off a little bit over the last week or two, but if my prediction's correct and America gets into this armed conflict, especially with an oil-rich nation like Venezuela, it's conceivable that the price of gold goes up too. So keep an eye on that. Gold is basically an anti-dollar type of energy. It's very pro-government too, because the energy of gold is tied to the sun. So if one government's being toppled, that tends to spike up the price of gold. So pay very close attention to Venezuela and the traffic over there to figure out what's going to happen with the price of gold over the next couple months. I'm also looking at the transit of the Sun into Scorpio as being particularly favorable to the price of gold. So that's one thing I want to talk about. I've also been getting a lot of questions from you guys about crypto and whether the top is in or not. So let me throw up my screenshot of my predictions on this. So as you can see, we're actually expecting from September to middle of October for the price to fall. But it didn't do so in a straight line. You see, for most of September, the price actually went up a lot. It's only just started to fall over now. And it's fallen to a point lower than where it was in September. So I'm happy to put a tick next to that prediction. I want to take your attention to the next prediction over here, which is that in November, we're expecting a lot of volatility. Remember, Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th of November, and Jupiter will go retrograde on the 11th of November. In the last bull market, I was able to predict a lot of the spikes in the price of Bitcoin just based off Mercury retrograde alone. I think it worked 3 times out of 4 off the top of my head. In this cycle, however, Jupiter is the leading planet, and I think it's actually going to do really well once it goes retrograde. The reason I'm hoping it goes up, meaning the volatility of the price pushes the price of Bitcoin up, is because Jupiter just moved into Cancer, a place where it's exalted and where it's very, very strong. And we were kind of hoping that that would actually push the price of Bitcoin up, but instead, at around about that time, the price of Bitcoin came down. So retrograde motions are normally a really good period for energetic anomalies to work themselves out. So that's what I'm thinking. The volatility over the month of November, because of these two retrogrades, should be pushing the price of Bitcoin up. I also want to point out the fact that I don't think the top of the market is in yet. If you look at the bottom of this screen, you'll see we had 4 dates on when the top could be. I'm very confidently crossed out October to November timeframe here. The earliest the peak would be is late January and early Feb. So for the moment, I think it's worthwhile holding on to cryptocurrencies. The other thing we should also mention is there's actually a lot of corruption going on in America around the cryptocurrency space. Remember, Pakistan just gave the Trump family $5 billion in bribes to help them with their crypto projects. And Eric Trump is all of a sudden an authority in the cryptocurrency space. A guy with a real estate background is a crypto expert right now. By the way, at the same time, his brother-in-law, Jared Kushner, he just signed on as part of a $55 billion video game deal. So that guy, who also has a background in real estate, is now a video game industry expert. So go figure. Also at the same time this month, Donald Trump pardoned CZ. He's the head of Binance, and the Trump organization is planning on making a lot of money through this company. So I think it's very unlikely that Bitcoin is at its top for several reasons. Energetically, the planets just aren't showing that at all, but also with a more cynical, corruption-fueled view of the world, the leaders or the powers that be just don't want it to go down yet. And on that note, we should also talk about the energy around the United States. This is my screenshot and what I'm expecting to happen there. Right now, we're at step 3. The September-October period ended. There is a new war, which was technically Afghanistan-Pakistan, but I'm going to put a tick next to this because I think there is a war actually involving the US. You'll notice the next step on this sequence of events is money printing and the stock market and real estate rise. And I'll come back and talk more about that in just a second, but let me point out another prediction I'm expecting to happen next year. And that is over the months of August and September for there to be some sort of terrorist or separatist attack and or a riot. And I've just learned over the last couple of weeks, that's actually when the midterms are in the United States. So expect a lot of silliness to take place in that time. The big picture over here is that I'm expecting a new virus or a new pandemic to take place next year, a new war, political chaos, and also a financial disaster. So there's a lot of funny energy brewing up for next year that we have to prepare for, and I'm going to spend the next couple weeks and months of this year preparing a roadmap on how we can best prepare should those predictions come out as well. But on that note, let's talk about the October predictions, and then I'll give you guys my November predictions. Now, my first prediction was that there would be a gold price rise taking place over this month. That kind of did, kind of didn't happen. So from the 1st of October through to where we are now, the price of gold has actually gone up. However, it went up as much as 13% and then came down by 9%. So net basis, yes, the price of gold technically did go up. My second prediction on an oil price rise kind of did and kind of didn't happen as well. You see, the price of oil fell down a lot and then it went up a lot too. On a net basis, from the 1st of October to the end of October, the price of oil went down. So I'm going to put a cross next to that prediction. My third prediction was that there was going to be a war, and that has taken place. So we're on about 15 correct predictions out of 23 so far this year. Now let's have a look at the energy in the world over the month of November. My first prediction for November is that there should be a gold price rise in the second half of November. There's a couple factors here I've already talked about. Firstly, if there's a war, that usually pushes the price of gold up, but also the sun in Scorpio should be pushing this price up. Over October, gold had a monster run, and it is correcting right now. That correction, I'm assuming, is going to go on for another week or so until the sun turns this right around. Remember, gold is the favorite metal of the sun. I also believe there's going to be volatility in the price of Bitcoin over this month, meaning it's going to go up a lot and down a lot and then up a lot and down a lot. Don't get rattled in this time. My next prediction is that there'll be oil price volatility. You see, just as I got things wrong in October, expecting the price of oil to go up, on the back of America going to war with oil-rich Venezuela, that conflict still hasn't started. So if it does, we can expect the price of oil to go up, but at the same time, expect a lot of financial shenanigans that pushes the price up and down. We're also predicting a real estate price rise to take place. This is a tricky one to actually put your finger on because real estate isn't one single market like the stock market. So I'm going to say real estate will generally go up in the US and in all places around the world. Already we think this may be playing out because the Fed is talking about potentially lowering interest rates. My next prediction is that the stock market will continue to rise over this month. And then my last prediction I'm going to attribute to the Rode V tool. We believe that Micron technology is going to go up a lot over this month. That, guys, is where I'm going to end this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.